Hey everyone, on today's episode of Hubris Syndrome, I'm your Huckleberry. Hey everyone, I had so much fun doing the science fiction episode. We're going into my next favorite genre. We're talking about Westerns. I'm going west. The Magnificent Seven remake is coming up, and I have my fingers crossed that this movie delivers. I'm so pumped. The cast is epic. Antoine Fuqua director, hit or miss. I need it to be good. It's my most anticipated right now. So I thought I'd go back and talk about some of my favorite Westerns. Yeehaw! Disclaimer, nature of the show, just like with the science fiction episode, we can't cover them all. We can't possibly talk about every single Western because there's a million. So a little preemptive strike on all the comments. Why didn't you talk about this? Come on, Huber, what about this? I am going to acknowledge, but not discuss, A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Silverado, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. 3:10 to Yuma. The Searchers. And that's all I got for now, but more will come. Preemptive strike. First one on my list, Tombstone. This is the Western that got me into Westerns. Now it is aged like a fine wine, this film. But over the years, there's been like kind of this camp that doesn't really respect Tombstone, kind of the critical reviews. It didn't really get nominated for anything at the Oscars, which is disgusting because it is Val Kilmer's best performance and one of my favorite performances in cinema history. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. Now I know the movie isn't 100% based in fact, you know, it is pretty Hollywood. This is a Hollywood Western. The shootout at the OK Corral, well that is a epic gunfight. The real thing didn't really go down like that. But I just love the family vibe of this movie and the Earp Vendetta ride. You know, this movie has really good acts, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And when Kurt Russell has had enough, movie gets nuts. But I love it. It's definitely an easier Western to watch. A lot of Westerns are really slow paced, really wide static shots of scenery, really long philosophical conversations. And Tombstone, you know, again, it's Hollywood, hard R rating, gets to the point. Next on my list, the polar opposite of Tombstone. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Story time, I love a good story time. I love a good Paul Huber story. Love watching Westerns with my dad. One of my favorite pastimes. Remember when this movie came out? I was playing at one theater, my all-time favorite theater. I know I say all-time favorite a lot, but please believe me, I'm a hyperbolic person, but believe me when I tell you, my all-time favorite movie theater, the Edwards University 6 in Irvine, right next to UCI College and right next to Cyberdeck, the LAN cafe where I used to play Counter-Strike and Dota. Way off topic. I remember sitting in this theater with my dad, just watching this movie, and it is beautiful. Everything about this movie is gorgeous, and I know a minute ago I said that Val Kilmer, one of my all-time favorite performances, I'm about to get hit right now by a lot of the chat. Casey Affleck as Robert Ford in this movie is legitimately like top 3 performances of all time. Now I love this movie because it's at the end of Jesse James' career, obviously by the title, the assassination of Jesse James. So it's not all about bank heists and train robberies, although there is a beautiful train robbery shot by Roger Deakins. Glorious, beautiful. I cannot stress enough how beautiful this movie is. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's just some really good payoffs in this movie, and it's worth a watch. I know it's really long, and to me, it's not long enough. Do you want to know why it's not long enough? Because Andrew Dominic, the director, who also did Chopper and Killing Them Softly, the original cut of this movie is like 4 hours and something minutes. But you know Hollywood, you know those studios, they got cold feet. They want to rename the movie. They want more action. They want bank heists. They want less character study. They want to keep it moving. Hollywood, sell some tickets. Compromised. A few years back, they did a revival of this movie, which is pretty telling because it's not an old movie. I think it came out in like 2007. And they did a revival, you know, it's not really old enough to warrant a revival, but the whole thing was about the process of making this movie and trying to maybe one day release that extended cut that Warner Brothers is holding hostage. Also holding the Justice League hostage, but that's another story. Oh man, getting heated when I talk about that cut. I just want to see that 4-hour cut. I want it. Next up on the list, Magnificent Seven, the original. Let's talk about it. You want to know why I love the Magnificent Seven? You want to know what it reminds me of? Actually, the other way around. Something reminds me of the Magnificent Seven. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess what it is. You'll never guess. Actually, you probably will guess because you're easy allies and you know all. You're like a hive mind, Kerrigan style. All right, time's up. Mass Effect 2. Yeah, that's right. Mass Effect 2, Magnificent Seven. It's about putting a team together to face overwhelming odds in basically what is a suicide mission, some kind suicide squad. But of course I would be remiss to not bring up the legendary, the iconic, the stop watching this show right now, click the X button, and go watch Seven Samurai, Kurosawa's masterpiece. Seven Samurai, the foundation for the Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven has been retold and reimagined a number of times, but it's the exact same thing where 7 samurai go up against, overwhelming odds in basically what is a suicide mission. And the beauty of these movies is because a lot of the characters are damaged. They're looking for redemption. They all just have such interesting stories to tell. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad people. Some of them, again, are just looking for redemption. And no spoilers, but in both of these movies, when these guys start dying, it hurts. It hurts my soul. Anytime one of the 7 goes down, I feel it. And when I'm that emotionally invested in a character, you've done it right. It's time for the finale. Not the syndrome, the finale. Oh, I can't breathe just thinking about it. My #1 Western of all time. My #1 screenplay of all time. That's a super pretentious thing to say. Oh, I really like the screenplay of this movie. For real though, Unforgiven. Ironically, one of the few Western films to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. You know, Hollywood, like, Westerns are prolific. You would think there would have been more, but Unforgiven. Where do I even begin with this movie? Clint Eastwood's final Western. Directed it, stars in it, the man himself. And the reason I love this movie so much, well, the main reason, is because of the writing. Subtlety. I know every movie has expository dialogue, but everything in this movie feels so natural and so real. Myths and legends and backstory are alluded to, and it twists the theme of the genre, of the Western genre of legends and myth, and how everything isn't really what it seems with these people. And let's not forget about the cast, the supporting cast. Gene Hackman as Little Bill, psycho Sheriff Lawman, Richard Harris, the late great Richard Harris, who was Dumbledore in the first 2 Harry Potter movies, plays English Bob. Great arc in the film. If you haven't seen Unforgiven, I highly recommend it. 7 Samurai, Unforgiven, watch them immediately. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And again, last thing I want to say about Unforgiven, it's not all about the gunfights. It's all about the shootouts. It's about living in the times and the perception of myth and legend. That's it for Westerns. Let me know which ones I missed. The preemptive strike was not long enough. I can't really think of any more right now. Silverado, did I mention that one? There's so many good Westerns out there. We are Easy Allies. Thanks for tuning in. Support us on Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the social medias. We're streaming every day. Good vibes, love, and respect. And if you want to talk about Westerns, Talking Syndrome on Easy Allies Twitch live every Saturday, 11 a.m. We're just hanging out, having a conversation. Check it out. Super jolly. And I'm sure many of you will be pointing fingers and saying, you didn't mention this one. Just a few Westerns. We don't have enough time. Thanks for watching, everyone.
It's time for the syndrome.
My number 2 favorite film of the year, number 1 being The Wailing. Hell or High Water, a modern day take on the Western, outlaw bank robbers on the border of Texas going up against my man, the dude, Jeff Bridges. Check it out, Hell or High Water, so good.